You weren't supposed to feel this much resistance if everything was falling apart. That's the paradox you've been living in. The pressure, the delays, the silence, the constant recalibration of your expectations. None of it feels random anymore. And it's not. What you've been interpreting as opposition has actually been preparation. Heaven has been moving behind the scenes, not because you earned it through perfection, but because your assignment required a specific kind of refinement that could only happen in the waiting. There's a shift happening right now that has nothing to do with what you can see. It's not in your bank account yet. It's not in your relationships yet. It's not in the opportunity that finally says yes. The shift happened in the unseen first, and that's where every lasting change begins. You've been chosen for something that requires a different version of you, and the version you're becoming didn't exist 6 months ago. That's why nothing from your old life fits anymore. That's why the people who used to understand you now look confused. That's why your desires have changed, your tolerance has dropped, and your peace has become non-negotiable. You've been in a season where God has been separating you, not punishing you. There's a difference. Punishment breaks you down without purpose. Separation removes you from what would dilute your calling. You felt isolated, misunderstood, even invisible at times. But what looked like isolation was actually insulation. Heaven placed a boundary around you because the next chapter of your life requires a level of focus, clarity, and spiritual authority that you couldn't develop while still managing everyone else's opinions of you. And here's what most people won't tell you. You've been tested on whether you would stay faithful in the void. Not the kind of faithfulness that shows up on Sunday or posts the right scripture. The kind that keeps you steady when there's no applause, no confirmation, no visible progress. You've had moments where you could have gone back to old coping mechanisms. You've had opportunities to settle for less just to stop the ache of waiting, but you didn't. And that decision, that series of small, unseen decisions, shifted something in the spiritual realm. But if you react from your old identity right now, if you let fear convince you that nothing's changing, you could miss the momentum that's already building. This is not the time to shrink back into doubt or start questioning whether you heard God clearly. You did, and what He set in motion is still in motion. Let me be specific. There was a moment recently, maybe even this past week, where you had a chance to react the way you used to. Someone said something that used to trigger you. A situation unfolded that used to send you spiraling. But instead of reacting, you paused. You didn't engage. You didn't defend. You didn't try to control it. You just exhaled and let it be. That moment mattered more than you realize. That was evidence that the old version of you is losing power. That was proof that you're not who you used to be. And heaven recognized that shift. What's happening now is a recalibration of access. You're being given access to rooms you didn't even know existed. Not because you're flawless, but because your heart posture changed. You stopped performing for approval. You stopped trying to convince people of your value. You started moving in quiet confidence, trusting that what's yours will find you. And that shift in energy, that internal alignment, unlocks something. You've been wondering why certain doors closed. You've questioned why people walked away, why opportunities didn't work out, why prayers seemed to go unanswered. But every closed door was God protecting you from a path that would have derailed your destiny. Every person who left made room for the right people to enter. Every unanswered prayer was God saying, I have something better, but you're not ready for it yet. And now, you're ready. Not because your life is perfect, but because your character has been refined in the fire. You've learned how to steward silence. You've learned how to honor your own boundaries. You've learned that your worth isn't tied to productivity or performance. You've stopped rushing, stopped forcing, stopped manipulating outcomes. And that's when heaven started moving on your behalf. There's a grace on your life right now that's accelerating things. What used to take years is going to happen in months. What used to require striving is going to unfold naturally. You're entering a season where favor is going to feel effortless, not because you're doing less, but because you're finally aligned. You're no longer fighting against yourself. You're no longer at war with God's timing. You've surrendered, and surrender is the posture that attracts miracles. But here's what you need to understand. The shift doesn't always feel like relief at first. Sometimes it feels like more pressure. Because when God promotes you, He also increases your capacity. He stretches you. He expands your ability to handle what He's about to release. So, if you've been feeling stretched, if you've been feeling like you're being asked to hold more than you're comfortable with, that's not a sign that something's wrong. That's a sign that you're being prepared for overflow. You've been faithful in the small things. You've been consistent when no one was watching. You've honored commitments, even when they didn't benefit you. You've given your best, even when it wasn't recognized. And God saw all of it. Every act of integrity in private, every moment you chose obedience over comfort, every time you worshiped when you didn't feel like it, none of it was wasted. What's about to happen is going to feel sudden, but it's not. It's been building. You've been planting seeds in the unseen, and now it's harvest time. The relationships that are about to enter your life are going to feel divinely orchestrated. The opportunities that are about to open are going to feel tailor-made. The breakthroughs that are about to manifest are going to leave no doubt that God's hand is on your life. You're not going to have to chase anymore. You're not going to have to beg for what's yours. You're not going to have to convince anyone of your value. The right people are going to see you and know. The right opportunities are going to present themselves without force. The right doors are going to open at the exact right time. And when they do, you're going to look back at this season and understand why the wait was necessary. This is your season of vindication. Not in a petty way. Not in a way that makes others look small, but in a way that confirms what God said about you. In a way that silences the doubt you've battled in your own mind. In a way that restores what was stolen and multiplies what you've sown. Heaven just shifted something for you. The assignment is accelerating, the grace is increasing, the favor is undeniable, and the version of you that's emerging is the one who is always meant to walk in this level of authority. If this resonated with you, if something in your spirit just said yes, I want you to type in the comments, I receive it. Let that be your declaration. And if this message confirms something you've been feeling, subscribe to this channel. You're not here by accident.